and welcome to episode 17 of Let's Talk About Fantastic Beasts. Today we are going to be talking about basilisks. As always, I will be using my copy of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Basilisk, also known as the King of Serpents, Ministry of Magic classification 5X's, which means known wizard killer, impossible to train or domesticate. The first recorded basilisk was bred by Herpo the Foul, a Greek dark wizard and parcel-mouth, who discovered after much experimentation that a chicken egg hatched beneath a toad would produce a gigantic serpent possessed of extraordinarily dangerous powers. The basilisk is a bright green serpent that may reach up to 50 feet in length. The male has a scarlet plume upon its head. It has exceptionally venomous fangs, but its most dangerous means of attack is the gaze of its large yellow eyes. Anyone looking directly into these will suffer instant death. If the food source is sufficient, the basilisk will eat all mammals and birds and most reptiles. The serpent may attain a very great age. Herpo the Foul's basilisk is believed to have lived for close on 900 years. The creation of basilisks has been illegal since medieval times, although the practice is easily concealed by simply removing the chicken egg from beneath the toad when the Department for the Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures comes to call. However, since basilisks are uncontrollable except by parcel mouths, they are as dangerous to most dark wizards as to anybody else, and there have been no recorded sightings of basilisks in Britain for at least 400 years, and then there's a lovely little scribble here that says that's what you think in the book. Because obviously there has been a basilisk in Britain. Let's see if there's any more we can talk about regarding basilisks in Harry Potter before we go on to the mythology of a basilisk. Of the many fearsome beasts and monsters that roam our land, there is none more curious or more deadly than the basilisk, known also as the King of Serpents. This snake, which may reach gigantic size and live many hundreds of years, is born from a chicken's egg hatched beneath a toad. Its methods of killing are most wondrous, for aside from its deadly and venomous fangs, the basilisk has a murderous stare, and all who are fixed with the beam of its eye shall suffer instant death. Spiders flee before the basilisk, for it is their mortal enemy, and the basilisk flees only from the crowing of the rooster, which is fatal to it. So we obviously know what a basilisk looks like because we saw one in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And then this is talking about petrification. When a victim looks indirectly at the basilisk's eyes, such as its reflection, they will merely become petrified, similar to the Medusa stare. This was the case with Hermione Granger and Colin Creevey. However, Myrtle, commonly known as Moaning Myrtle, was not so fortunate and looked directly into the basilisk's eyes, which resulted in her dying immediately. Phoenixes are immune to this deadly gaze, and spiders such as Aragog and his ever-growing clan are terrified of the basilisk and describe it as their enemy, refusing to even speak of it or mention its name. Basilisk venom is an extremely poisonous substance that only has one known cure: phoenix tears. According to Igor Karkaroff, Alistair Moody had smashed apart a birthday present that he thought in paranoia was a cleverly disguised basilisk egg before finding out it was a carriage clock. The basilisk is often confused with the cockatrice, but the basilisk is born from a chicken's egg hatched beneath a toad, while the cockatrice is hatched by a chicken's egg incubated by a serpent. In LEGO Harry Potter Years 1 to 4, the basilisk is male because it has a red plume on its head. It has been theorised that spiders fear basilisks because arachnids can see 360 degrees around them and cannot shut their eyes, leaving them extremely vulnerable to the monster's killing gaze. Despite written physical descriptions and imagery, it appears basilisks can grow horns, like its distant American relative the horned serpent, but seems to have shared a trait with European horned serpents of mythology. This trait is highly unusual, as even Newt Scamander himself had no knowledge about it, and as you know, horned serpent is one of the house names of Ilvermorny in America, so that's quite an interesting fact. So, the next thing we usually talk about is, will we see a basilisk in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them? Now, I'm a little in two minds about this one because obviously we've already seen a basilisk, and a basilisk was the main focus, or one of the main focuses, of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, both book and film. So we've already seen basilisks, or a basilisk rather, and it's been the main focus of a film in its own right. So that leads me to believe that we might not see a basilisk. However, it is possible. How Newt Scamander got his hands on one would be questionable, as they are illegal. It is possible we'll see one, but I personally think they'll sort of stray away from that, and Fantastic Beasts will give us creatures that we haven't seen before. There will probably be some crossovers. There'll be some creatures we have seen before. I mean, goblins is the main example. There are goblins in Fantastic Beasts, and there were goblins in Harry Potter, although they look very, very different. So there will be some crossover, and we will see some creatures we've already seen. However, in the case of a basilisk, I just don't know how probable it is. I would say no, we won't see one, but of course, I don't know. So next up, we would talk a little bit about the history and mythology behind basilisks. I'm not going to go too in depth because there's a lot of information about the basilisk. There's so much. It's been used in Greek mythology and lots of other mythologies. And basilisks have been the primary focus in video games, books, films. I'm not sure about TV series, but yeah, they have been the main focus of a lot of things. So there is a lot of history, but I will just read you a little bit. In European legends, a basilisk is a legendary reptile reputed to be king of serpents and said to have the power to cause death with a single glance, same as Harry Potter. I'm reading through all this, and there is a lot, so I won't speak a lot. It says here, the basilisk appears in the English Revised Version of the Bible. There's a lot of basilisks in books, actually, and poems and that kind of thing. And then Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is here. Video games, you have Castlevania series, the Dark Souls series, the Witcher series, Final Fantasy series, which are all big video game franchises. I'm not going to continue with the history and the mythology because there is so much. You could do a full hour-long episode on the history and mythology of a basilisk. There's just so much. So the last thing we talk about is there any basilisk merchandise in terms of Harry Potter? And the answer for that is yes. Off the top of my head, I know I have a basilisk sweet maker. I think, yeah, it's a sort of sweet maker that's a basilisk. I'm sure there is a basilisk plush, although I don't own it. I had to check then. I don't own it, but I think there is a basilisk plush. Basilisks are obviously seen in a lot of the books. I have what is it called? The Creature Vault by Jodie Revenson, and there is a section on the basilisk. There's also something about the basilisk in Page to Screen, I believe. There's a lot of illustrations of the basilisk, especially with Chamber of Secrets merchandise. I'm sure there's a t-shirt, a necklace, that kind of thing. And there is a Lego basilisk. And I'm not sure about any other figures. I would probably say there is a basilisk action figure. Yeah, but I haven't seen it, I haven't got it, so I'm not 100%. That's all we'll be talking about today. I hope this hasn't gone on for too long. There's a lot to talk about. I didn't want to get too much into the history and the mythology, like I said, and I didn't really want to talk about the plot of Chamber of Secrets because if you are watching this, you've probably already watched or read Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, so you didn't need the entire plot for that. So I have it here. Next week's Let's Talk About Fantastic Beasts is on centaurs, which could also be quite a lengthy one because centaurs were not created for Harry Potter, as you know. So thank you to everyone who's watching right now. Thank you. And please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you like this kind of thing. Like I said, next week will be centaurs, which should be fairly interesting. And I will see you next week with another Fantastic Beasts, and I will see you in between times with other videos. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.